6 times 10 to the 4th times 7 times 10 to the negative 2nd. So remember, we're just continuing. We don't have to write a new date. We're just pretending like this is where we left off.
Is it times 10 to the 4th?
6 times 10 to the 4th. Yep.
I'm going to put it back here. Because I'm not used to it. You want this actually?
10 to the negative 2 over here. What was that? Okay. So if you remember on Friday, we would multiply the 6 times the 7 and we would get 42. And then 10 to the 4th times 10 to the negative 2. We add those. 4 plus negative 2 gives me 2. But I can't leave it like that, right? So I have to fix it. So where will my decimal go for this number 42?
After the 4.
Yep, so I'm going to have 4.2. And now what will my exponent be, because now I have an extra space to go? 10 to the
10 to the third power.
third, right? Because I now have an extra loop to go. So now I have to show that by my exponent.
That makes sense.
Now we're going to move on to dividing. It's all fancied out. Okay, so dividing is, oh guys, if you don't have a colored pencil, go grab one. I'm going to use red today. Okay. Sure doesn't. Does not matter what color you use.
Can you give me
You want this, huh?
Oh, you know what? Let me put those out. Just borrow one of mine for now, so nobody gets it.
Really?
If you keep looking at me like that, I'm gonna take off the sit. I'm gonna change back. It makes me feel weird. It makes me feel like I'm weird. Trying to understand what I'm saying. It makes me feel
What are you talking about?
You said well? That's kind of bigger than that number. It's last year.
Okay, guys, just pick a color. It really doesn't matter what color. Just pick one and sit down for me.
My dad is the best.
Okay, so we have 1.5 times 10 to the negative 8 divided by 6 times 10 to the 7th. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is rewrite as a fraction. We're going to write this as like an angry cloud to catch our attention. Rewrite as a fraction. So I'm going to have 1.5 times 10 to the negative 8 divided by 6 times 10 to the 7th. Kendall, did you get this written down?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, these are all fell out.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my color pencil and I'm going to put this into two division problems. 1.5 divided by 6, 10 to the negative 8 divided by 10 to the 7. And that's how you do division with scientific notation. You do two separate problems.
You just
So then if I go out to the side here, right, 1.5 divided by 6, remember you're not going to have a calculator. Put my decimal up here. How many times can 6 go into 15?
Twice.
Twice. 6 times 2 is 12. Subtract. Bring down a 0. How many times can 6 go into 30? 5 times. So I know I'm going to have 0.25 times 10 to the something. What is negative 8 minus 7?
1. Negative 1.
0.
Wait.
I'm at negative 8 and I'm taking 7 more away.
Negative 1.
Oh, you said negative 7 minus 7.
I think I said negative 8 minus 7.
Oh, really? Oh, you
1.
said.
Negative 1.
Oh, so it's not.
1. 2.
If I borrow $8 from you and then I borrow 7 more,
Oh,
how much
it's
do I owe you?
Negative 15.
Negative 15.
I'm a little.
Okay. All right, now, but this is not in scientific notation, right? So this would tell me to go 15 places to the left. Okay? But I know that I have to move my decimal here. So now how many places to the left do I need to go? I was going to go 15, but now I'm going to have to go an extra loop to the left. So how many loops? 16, right? So my final answer will be 2.5 times 10 to the negative 16 because I have to go an extra loop now. So when you can't, if you're having trouble figuring out what to do with this exponent, think about the loops and which way you're going. If now my loop has to travel one extra space to the left, I'm actually going to make this 16 because I want this to go 16 to the left. Okay. All right, let's do another example. 7.2 times 10 to the 7th divided by 3.6 times 10 to the 7th.
You're supposed to be right.
Yes.
So,
Sus one. I don't know what that means.
What's my first step? What do I need to do before I do anything else? Ellison?
No, I just have a question.
Yeah.
What's the number above 10?
So they both have a 7.
Oh, okay.
Yep. What am I going to do before I do anything else, Kendall? Rewrite it as a fraction. 7.2 times 10 to the 7th divided by 3.6 times 10 to the 7th. Then I'm going to separate them as into two separate division problems. And then out to the side, I'm going to do 7.2 divided by 3.6.
does the biggest number always go on top, or is it like what comes first?
Whatever comes first goes in, right? Because look, so this one was 1.5 and 6, but I still did 1.5 divided by 6. So whatever is above goes inside the little house. How many times does 36 go into 72?
Twice.
2 times, which makes it easy.
72, so it'd just be 0.2.
Nope, so remember I moved my decimal here, so it's just 2.
Oh.
Right, because I had to move it here, so I move it on the outside. So I have 2 times, and then 7 minus 7 equals
0.
0. So I could say 2 times 10 to the 0,
Or you could put a 1 because it's
or I could know that this is 1, and then what would my final answer be?
2 times
2.
Yeah.
So I could say either of these as my final answer, because 10 to the 0 equals 1. And 2 times 1 is 2.
What does it say at the end?
Oh, sorry. Because 10 to the 0 equals 1. So either of those answers would be acceptable.
Could you do 10 to the first part? Or
that would be that'd be equal to 10. Yep, that secret little one hiding there, right? Okay, so those are our notes for